High up in the remote Himalayas, in a place called the Spiti Valley, one of the world's rarest predators was in a fight for its life. The thing is, the snow leopard's survival meant potential ruin for the local community. But this story, well, it has a pretty amazing twist. It's all about how a group of local women completely changed the game, becoming the animal's greatest protectors and creating a conservation model that could, honestly, change everything.
And that really gets to the heart of the issue, doesn't it? When a protected animal, a predator, threatens the very livelihood of the people who live alongside it, what do? How do you choose a side? Can you even protect both? That's the puzzle we're going to unpack today. So, to really get why the solution here is so brilliant, we have to understand just how deep the problem ran. For generations, life in Spiti was defined by this constant, simmering conflict. And this wasn't just about animals. It was a daily battle for survival for everyone involved, humans and leopards, all fighting for their place in a really harsh landscape. Okay, let's break it down. It's pretty simple, really. On one side, you've got the incredible snow leopard, a protected species, pushed to the absolute brink. And on the other, you have the local tribal herders. For them, their entire life, their money, their future is all tied up in their livestock. So when the predator's survival means eating the herder's only source of income, you can see how a clash is pretty much inevitable.
And the result? Well, you can imagine. It was just devastating for the community. Herders were facing huge financial losses, and because of that, the snow leopard started to be seen not as this majestic creature, but as a genuine threat. This created a really dangerous situation for the animal, leading to things like poaching and retaliatory killings.
So yeah, the situation was pretty grim. But then, a completely new idea came along. An initiative that, instead of looking for solutions from the outside, found the answer by looking within the community itself. And they found it in a place that probably nobody expected.
The solution was, honestly, as simple as it was radical. Empower the women of Spiti. The whole idea was to turn the very people who were most affected by the livestock losses into the leaders of the conservation movement. It was a total 180 on the old way of doing things.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But how did it actually work in practice? This is where the story gets really incredible. It's about the transformation of these local women from villagers into highly skilled guardians of the snow leopard. And look, this wasn't some symbolic role. No way. These women received real, hands-on, technical training. They learned how to set up and monitor camera traps, how to track leopard movements across that rugged terrain, and, this is crucial, how to step in and stop retaliatory killings when a predator attacked someone's livestock. They became the frontline defenders. But here's the thing that made the whole program click, the real game changer. The women were paid for their work. So all of a sudden, protecting the snow leopard wasn't a financial burden anymore. It was a source of income. It became a way to support their families. And that right there changed absolutely everything. So did it work? Oh yeah, the results were absolutely transformative. Let's take a look at the impact this initiative had, not just on the wildlife, but on the women who were leading the charge. First, the ecological success was just undeniable. With the women acting as guardians, the conflict between humans and wildlife dropped a lot. And with poaching and those revenge killings stopped in their tracks, the snow leopard population actually started to stabilize and even grow. I mean, that's a massive win for conservation. But that's only half the story. The social transformation was, in many ways, just as powerful. These women gained a whole new economic and social standing in their communities. They weren't just villagers anymore. They were now respected leaders in conservation, the keepers of this crucial local knowledge. You know, there's this quote from someone in the community that just perfectly sums it all up. Conservation became a source of employment and respect. See, it's not just about saving an animal. It's about building a stronger community where both people and wildlife can actually thrive together. So you see, this isn't just a feel-good story from a remote village. No, this has much, much bigger implications. The Spiti model is being seen by experts as a potential blueprint for the entire nation. And here's why this matters so much right now. The Himalayas are on the front lines of climate change, which puts a ton of pressure on these fragile ecosystems. You know those top-down conservation efforts? They often fail. But community-based models like this one, the ones that give local people a real stake in the outcome, are proving to be way more effective. And believe me, people are taking notice. Experts are now calling for this women-led model to be copied all across India, in other communities that are facing their own conflicts between humans and wildlife. It's a proven strategy that empowers people while protecting our precious biodiversity. So, we'll leave you with this thought. The women of Speedy basically solved what seemed like an impossible problem, just by turning conflict into collaboration. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In which other corners of India, facing their own unique challenges, is an initiative just like this one so desperately needed?